It's Monday, March 2nd.
لا حربية طيارة حربية طيارة حربية شوف
A U.S. fighter jet is seen plummeting from the sky in Kuwait as more Iranian strikes are reported across the Middle East.
And our partnerships will be reinforced by the strong foundations we are building in trade and defense.
Canada and India charting a new course for a partnership by agreeing to deals worth billions of dollars in energy, defense, and technology.
Here's Holinka, will turn, fire, scores!
And the Broncos bounced on Sunday by the Oil Kings. Highlights coming up. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Monday.
It doesn't really truly feel like it, but it is the start of meteorological spring.
Yeah, I mean, temperature's not so bad. Good to be seeing a little bit more warmth as we make our way into the work week.
We have to like that. Let's get to your news because there's a lot to get to, and we include Telemiracle in that coming up in just a moment. There have been new airstrikes today and a death toll rising, stemming from the U.S. attack on Iran that killed its supreme leader. ABC News' Marcus Moore has the latest from Doha. We'll get to that in just a moment. In the meantime, let's take you locally to Regina, where people were celebrating, feeling that times could be changing in their home country. The reason, the downfall of that Islamic Republic of Iran and the death of the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
The government, the guys that we hated, and we are chanting down with them, down with Khamenei, down with the Islamic Republic regime. Everything is clear now. We have a clear path forward. So yeah, people believe on this, and we are all happy that after 47 years of this barbaric regime, this brutal regime, we can have a freedom, we can have a free election.
There are approximately 1,000 people of Persian descent living in Regina, according to those CTV News spoke to. We're going to get a better idea of government finances across the country as provinces begin laying out their budgets for the next fiscal year. Large deficits are the trend so far. Most provincial governments have yet to table their numbers, including Saskatchewan. Our politicians get back to work today, by the way. But as CTV's Alison Bamford explains, the Premier is planning for a shortfall.
Saskatchewan's Premier isn't shying away from budget talks weeks before the financial blueprint is set to be unveiled.
We're in a challenging time across Canada.
In line with other provincial budgets, Premier Scott Moe says Saskatchewan will see a deficit, pointing to trade uncertainty and increased costs in public services as the main drivers. Based on mid-year updates, one economics professor suggests Saskatchewan could post $1 billion deficit.
It seems to be, by and large, a spending problem rather than a revenue problem. We're getting the benefit of that spending today. Somebody else in the future is going to have to pay the interest.
BC's budget delivered a record $13.3 billion deficit last month, bringing with it tax hikes and 15,000 job cuts to the public sector. Nova Scotia projected a $1.2 billion deficit that will see cuts to government jobs, grants, and operational expenses in the civil service.
This is like a national problem. We've seen an absolute pivot away from the idea of we should be balancing the budget.
Experts say each province is staring down similar problems to different degrees. In Saskatchewan, canola tariffs and the drop in oil prices were big deficit drivers. But another major factor, the increased spending that comes with a growing and aging population.
The policy challenges, healthcare in particular, is just getting ever more expensive as our population ages, and there's really no good fix for that.
Premier Moe has suggested Saskatchewan won't see any tax hikes or service cuts as a result of the province's deficit. We'll learn more once the budget is unveiled March 18th. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Thank you, Allison. One person is dead after a house fire in Regina on Sunday. This one happened at a home on the 1300 block of Wascana Street at around 5:30 in the morning. An investigation is now underway. The person has been identified and their family notified, but no further details are being released. An investigation is now underway. If you have any information that can help, call police or Crime Stoppers. Saskatchewan sure rang those phones this weekend. Jeremy Dodge, good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. Yes, it was a record-breaking weekend for Telemiracle in Saskatoon. The golden anniversary raised a total of $10,521,072 for the Kinsman Foundation, marking the highest total the event has ever seen. The 20-hour-long telethon annually raises money to help pay for a variety of expenses that come along with complex medical needs for people in Saskatchewan. This year also featured a Telemiracle museum for those who attended in person as an opportunity to see how the show has evolved in its 5 decades.
This is wonderful. I really think that seeing the progression all the way along the line, the people are still great, and we are still serving the community's greatest need.
Of note this year, an individual contribution of more than $2.3 million through a planned giving donation from Alice Tyndall, a lifelong supporter of Telemiracle, who died in 2023 at the age of 91. Well, community advocates bundled up in Saskatoon over the weekend for the coldest night of the year. It was hosted by the Mustard Seed. The event raised both funds and awareness for houselessness and those who experience hardship during the colder months. Over $30,000 were raised thanks to 129 participants and 52 volunteers supporting the event. Those walking had the option to walk for either 2 or 5 kilometers in the -19 weather.
It's incredibly important for us to just get a little bit of a taste of that so that we keep it top of mind that the next time, maybe tomorrow or the next week or the month after, when we see someone who is suffering and is trying to survive in the cold, we interact with them with greater empathy and compassion and mercy.
The event was part of a Canada-wide fundraiser, which saw nearly 40,000 people participate and raised almost $15 million. All right, Daryl, back to you with an update on some of that international news.
Yeah, we're going to get back to that top story. I think I got the gremlin out of our system, Jeremy. Thank you. Let's go back to Marcus Moore with more from Doha.
Overnight, President Trump giving new insight into the military action in Iran, telling ABC News the U.S. attacks could last 4 or 5 more weeks. His statement coming just hours after the announcement that 3 American service members were killed during an Iranian attack in Kuwait.
We grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, and sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more.
Central Command releasing new video showing the U.S. destroying what appear to be Iranian fighter jets, drones, and ballistic missile launchers, among other military targets. Israel claims roughly half of Iran's ballistic missile launchers have now been destroyed, but Iran is responding. At least 9 people were killed when an Iranian missile hit this Israeli shelter in a synagogue, and at least 5 others were killed across the Persian Gulf states as Iran deployed missiles and drones at military and civilian targets. A drone blasting this residential building in Bahrain. And in Qatar, people running for their lives.
You can see the air defense interceptors going into the air in those bright flashes of orange, and you can also hear the loud booms. This is what we've been hearing in Doha all day today.
In Kuwait, those 3 American service members who were killed were reportedly part of a unit overseeing supplies and logistics. 5 others were injured. And inside Iran, the death toll is rising, with more than 1,000 people reportedly killed since the U.S. and Israeli attacks began Saturday. President Trump over the weekend justifying the attack.
They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions.
But some question whether Iran posed an imminent threat.
I saw no intelligence that Iran was on the verge of launching any kind of preemptive strike against the United States of America.
And President Trump says the potential leaders of Iran have indicated that they want to talk. And we saw Iran's interim leadership council meeting this weekend, but President Trump did not elaborate on plans for any future U.S. negotiations. Marcus Moore, ABC News, Doha.
Closer to home, starting today, you can only pay for parking in downtown Regina through a mobile app. Parking meters downtown will no longer accept coin or cash payments as the city moves toward a fully app-based system. Following the City of Regina's council meeting, Mayor Chad Baczynski told reporters the city will be working with residents to help them navigate the new process. The Saskatoon Blades and Prince Albert Raiders have punched their ticket to the WHL playoffs. Swift Current Broncos, meantime, playing for pride.
Here's Holinka, will turn, fire, scores!
Yaroslav Holinka's 35th of the season, the game winner in overtime as the Edmonton Oil Kings edged the Broncos 3-2 on Sunday. The Broncos are winless in their last 9 and last place in the league. Let's turn our attention to the weather picture. Meteorological spring, easy for me to say. What does that mean for us in terms of temperatures?
Well, we're still seeing some temperatures below the seasonal average in some places, but we are going to be seeing just a little bit of warmth this week, especially down towards the south. Central Saskatchewan, not going to be seeing quite as much of those positive temperatures, but there will be some. Let's turn our attention right now, though, to this weather picture outside right now. In Regina, we're at -12. We have some winds coming in at 7 kilometers per hour and clear skies right now for the time being. -6 right now in Saskatoon. We do have some more clouds. That is going to continue on into the afternoon, and winds coming in at 22 kilometers per hour. Let's turn our attention now to this futurecast. We are talking about a few small systems coming into consideration over the next few days. So right now we're talking about some snow making its way into the central zone right between Prince Albert and Saskatoon there for early this afternoon. What you're looking at right now is about 12:15 p.m. As you can also see, there was some more cloud cover through the central zone rather than down towards the south, but it does increase into those overnight hours. The system kind of fluctuates. It breaks up a little bit. The snow could be a bit stop and go in areas around Prince Albert. This is at about 1:30 p.m. on Tuesday. We see another system coming in from Alberta, again, right over top of Prince Albert. And then into the evening hours tomorrow, still seeing that throughout the central and northern zone. Today's forecast, though, with, again, a little bit of that snow. The Battlefords, -6, -8 in Prince Albert, and -6 in Yorkton. Again, seeing a chance of those flakes. -9 for Saskatoon with that cloud cover this afternoon. Down towards the south, seeing a little bit more of that sunshine, but again, clouds increasing into those overnight hours. 2 degrees for Swift Current, -1 for Moose Jaw and Regina, 2 degrees for Weyburn, and 3 degrees for Estevan. Your 7-day forecast looking like we are going to be seeing a bit of that warmth tomorrow, so 6 degrees, mix of sun and cloud. Wednesday, though, we do have a chance of seeing some more of that precipitation, -4, -3 on Thursday, 0 degrees on Friday, 7 degrees, though, on Saturday, some rain on the way, and 4 degrees on Sunday. In Saskatoon, as I mentioned, not really seeing quite as much of those positive temperatures, but still seeing some as we look forward to Friday and Saturday. -6 on Tuesday, though, -12 on Wednesday. Continuing to see a lot of cloud cover for the next few days. -5 on Thursday, 1 degree on Friday, 4 degrees on Saturday, and 1 degree on Sunday. And I also want to tell you about the winds today. We are seeing an improvement from what we were seeing on Friday. Today, we're just seeing some of those blue colors lighting up your screen, indicating gusts up to about 30 kilometers per hour. All right, have you ever wondered what's in a model's closet?
I come every day to get dressed or to pack for a big trip or to do fittings with my stylist. I shop my house for Architectural Digest.
Kendall Jenner is giving an exclusive tour of her personal closet with Vogue. She is on this month's cover model for the Vogue France issue. Everything in her closet is highly organized and color coordinated.
Good.
Yeah, Jenner even shares some hand-me-downs she's inherited from her sister Kim Kardashian and their mom Kris Jenner. I wonder what everything in that closet is worth.
Oh. A closet is more of a house, I would say.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But you have to color coordinate or else you'd lose stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
It looks very neat.
Kind of makes sense to me. Let's get to our question of the day.
All right. So, New animations that I apparently have to wait for.
I like it because that lady goes...
I like that I went away for a week and then it just appeared, this new animation.
You're welcome.
Okay, all right. New pause in the show. So because there's a national day for everything, today is National Fun Fact About Your Name Day.
Oh.
So we're asking you, how did your parents choose your name?
Mine's a blend of Dwayne and Cheryl. Daryl. I had two options, Daryl or Shane.
Oh, interesting.
There you go.
Okay.
Fun fact for you.
Jeremy, how did your parents get your name?
Pearl Jam.
No interesting stories. I know I can tell you my middle name was Brian, which was very nearly my first name.
Okay.
And if I was going to be a girl, I think Jessica was the top choice. But Jeremy Brian Dodge, that's me.
Not Pearl Jam.
No.
Not Pearl Jam.
No, I was around a little before that 10 album, for sure.
I don't believe it.
I was named after my mom's favorite babysitter, who happened to be her neighbor growing up, spelled Caleen. So different spelling for Kayleen, but still, yeah. Middle name after my grandmother, May.
Our producer is named after Jan Arden.
Yeah,
how about that?
That's a fun one.
How about that? I'm going to start calling him Jan. How did your parents choose your name? Text the line on the screen or scan the QR code. We're back after this.
Matt Scooby inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. For it, we head to the final round of the PGA's Cognizant Classic. So Canadian Ben Silverman in the bunker on the par 4 14th. How about this? Gets it to go. Even better than a sand save. Silverman, playing in his first tour event of the season, gets a fist bump from his playing partner Brooks Koepka, who also happens to be in the same bunker from almost the exact same spot. Koepka does the same, chips in as well. You don't see that every day. Koepka finished tied for 9th. That's your must-see moment. Now tonight on TSN, it's a college basketball doubleheader as we get closer to March Madness. First up, top-ranked Duke takes on NC State, followed by number 2 Arizona going up against Iowa State. Coverage begins 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
Let's make this Monday morning a choco-lot better and head over to Janelle Lippi at Fancy Pants Kitchen.
Good morning. I am with Karen Morley here this morning with Fancy Pants Kitchen, and today we're making chocolates. Karen, I am so excited. Let's get into it.
Okay. This is a mold.
Okay.
So this is the cavities, and I've already airbrushed it in your favorite color, yellow. And then what we do is after this point, we put chocolate in it, dump it out, makes a shell, and then we fill it and cap it. And that's what we're going to do today.
All right. Well, let's get started.
Okay. So to decorate this, is that what you would like to do?
I think so.
We have what's called a negative stamp.
Okay.
So I'm going to warm this up, and you're going to place it in the mold.
Okay.
And it will melt a little bit of that cocoa butter. And the parts where it melts will erase. And then you can put any color you want behind it.
Okay. Well, this is beautiful.
Something like this.
Oh, it looks amazing. Okay. I'm so
You ready?
excited. Yes.
Okay. So you're going to just put it right in there.
Okay.
Not too long. Straight. That's good.
I've got a design.
Okay. And now you're going to take this and you're going to erase it.
Okay.
Just
kind of swirl it around. How are we looking?
Okay, let's see. Yeah, you see you've got a little bit of design in there. Can you see it?
Oh, it's beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll give it one more little swipe. There.
And then we'll fill it with chocolate and we'll see what it looks like.
All right. Well, we will be back soon. We're going to fill it with chocolate. I'm going to see how good this turns out. I'm so excited, Karen. Thank you so much.
All right, looking forward to the outcome. Janelle, thank you very much. We'll see you in just a little while.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at -12, -6 in Saskatoon. By lunchtime in Regina, -4. A little bit more sunshine down through Regina compared to Saskatoon, where we're expecting to see a quite cloudy afternoon, -10 at that lunchtime hour. By final bell, warming up to -1 in Regina and warming to -9 in Saskatoon. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices temperatures in Regina. The common price is $136.9. The lowest you might find has gone up. It's $111.9 now. Saskatoon's common price this morning, $137.9, and you might find it for as low as $122.9. In the farm markets this morning, we find the street price of canola sitting at $626.73 per ton, and the futures price at $674.70 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat at $268.47 per ton. The Canadian dollar is down. It's at 73.30 cents U.S. Tax season is underway. When we come back, an important deadline to tell you about. Stay with us.
Welcome to your Monday. My name is Daryl. It is 6:30. Let's get to your headlines. China is lifting some tariffs it had in place on some Canadian agricultural products. CTV's Alex Carpa finds out why some are looking at the move as a good starting point rather than a solution.
So, potential home out here for a bunch of yellow flowers this summer?
Curtis McRae is thinking about the upcoming farming season. His plans to grow around 2,000 acres of canola this year.
I'm holding the number very close to the same as last year, hoping for markets to rebound.
But last year was anything but easy. Punishing tariffs imposed by China on Canadian canola took a significant toll on farmers like McRae.
I'm out of pocket a bunch of money from last year. It took $1 billion out of family farms' pockets, and I don't think there's anybody thinking about replacing that.
As of Sunday, the 100% tariff on canola meal and peas and a 25% levy on lobsters and crabs won't be imposed by China any longer, a reprieve that will continue through to the end of 2026.
Initial reaction is optimistic because seeding's coming up soon, and hopefully I've made the right cropping decisions.
Prime Minister Mark Carney met earlier this year with Chinese President Xi Jinping, and the leaders inked a deal on electric vehicles and canola. Farmer Warren Ellis calls it progress, but says more needs to be done.
Better, but not the whole answer. I mean, it's better. It will allow some through, but there needs to be a lot of work done yet on that.
An economist says the suspension of some canola and seafood tariffs between Canada and China is a win-win for both parties, but says the duties could be reinstated if the relationship deteriorates again.
Diversifying our relationships, both economic and political, has advantages and disadvantages. In this case, the advantage is that we should be able to sell more canola and grain and other agricultural products. But the disadvantage is we no longer can depend on a reliable American partner to protect us.
As for McRae, he says he's looking for stronger support from Ottawa to help ensure family farms can weather future trade disruptions and remain sustainable for years to come. Alex Carpa, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Canada and India have announced deals worth billions of dollars this morning.
We will advance, we will not stop until the goals of Viksit Bharat 2047 and Canada Strong are reached.
Prime Minister Mark Carney met with the Indian Prime Minister this morning. The two leaders then announced a series of deals, including a $2.6 billion agreement to supply uranium to India. Ottawa also says the visit has led to 10 agreements worth over $5 billion. Prime Minister Mark Carney also said Canada and India are working toward a free trade deal that the two sides hope to sign by the end of the year. The visit is seen as a reset of ties between the two countries, which came under strain of accusations of foreign interference in our country. Tax season is underway, and today is the deadline for RRSP contributions. Anyone looking to reduce their taxable income by contributing to one of an RSP investment has until the end of the day to do so, but putting money away isn't easy for everyone right now. According to the 35th RBC Financial Independence Poll, more than half of millennials report they have little or no money left over after paying their bills, and 64% feel anxious about their financial futures. The older brother of Tumbler Ridge shooter Jesse Van Rootselaar has a court date set for today in a central Alberta courthouse. Jacob Van Rootselaar Rutzlar is facing weapons and failure to comply to release conditions charges and was arrested in Sylvan Lake on an outstanding warrant last month, stemming from a 2024 attempted murder case. Jesse Van Rutzlar killed himself on February 10th after a string of fatal shootings in the remote BC community, with victims including her mother and half-brother, as well as 5 school children. Van Rutzlar's matter at the Red Deer Court is going to begin at 9:30 local time. Regina's Heritage Skatepark is closing its doors. The Skatepark Coalition is now searching for another indoor space. They'd been at Real District since 2022, and skaters feel it's a huge loss for the community.
I'm very upset that we're losing the space. It's very important. You can see all the people that are here right now that are trying to get in their last skate. But I feel like the biggest loss is for the kids that started skating here. It's their comfortable space, the place that they feel welcome, and then they're able to try anything and ask questions while doing it.
The RSC will look to find another space by, hopefully, next winter. Regina Ski Club hosted its 3rd annual cider event on Sunday, aiming to recruit new members and fundraise for Kinsman Park. As part of their yearly fundraising fixture, members from the club enjoyed a cross-country ski, some walking trails, and they indulged in some hot cups of cider, with the goal of encouraging more people to use Kinsman Park all year round. Volunteers are fundraising to plant hundreds of low trees and shrubs.
We're hoping to fundraise $30,000 this year to plant about 200 low trees and shrubs in the park, just to help increase the biodiversity, attract birds, and help capture snow in the wintertime.
Winter is slowly coming to an end, very slowly. Residents are encouraged to check the group's website before heading out. The late Katherine O'Hara was honored at last night's Actor Awards.
Show them O'Hara hurting her knee in Best in Show and doing that amazing thing where she hobbles around, and tell the people as they are laughing that that's Katherine O'Hara, and we were lucky that we got to live in a world where she so generally shared her talents with us. Thank you.
Katherine O'Hara won for Outstanding Performance for a female actor in a comedy series for her role in The Studio. Seth Rogen accepted the award on her behalf. Katherine O'Hara died in late January at the age of 71. An icon for sure. From one icon to another, there's Kayleen Sawatsky in the Weather Center with that morning view you can actually see this morning.
Yeah, it's not so bad out there this morning. The morning view is brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. Right now in Regina, we are at -12, which you may look at and think, oh, it's a cold day. The afternoon, though, isn't going to be so bad. We do have some winds coming in right now at 7 kilometers per hour and clear skies. In Saskatoon, -6, so a little bit warmer, but we are seeing some more of that cloud cover, and really all throughout central Saskatchewan, we're expecting to be seeing some of that cloud cover today, or some areas expecting some flurries. Let's take a look at just how much when it comes to those flurries. So the Battlefords by the end of the day today could be seeing about 4 centimeters of snow. 3 centimeters expected for Prince Albert, about 1 expected for Saskatoon, so not a lot there. And Yorkton could be seeing 1 centimeter as well. Current temperatures now, we're still seeing some very cold temperatures way up north. We're seeing some of those white colors up there. So -34 in Stony Rapids this morning, -27 in South End, -12 in Prince Albert. Not so bad through Hudson Bay and Melfort, -8 to start the day. Down towards the south, -5 in East End, -4 in Swift Current, and -11 in Weyburn. Let's take a look at some of those hot and cold spots in Saskatchewan and across the country now. Cypress Hills is Saskatchewan's hot spot, 0.2 degrees. The Saskatchewan cold spot is Uranium City, -38.7. The Canadian cold spot, of course, is in BC, 7.5. The hot spot, rather, and the cold spot is in Nunavut, -45.1. Let's take a look now at that 5-day forecast. We do have some more precipitation on the way. 6 degrees tomorrow, so that's going to be nice to see with that mix of sun and cloud. But on Wednesday, we are talking about the possibility of seeing some mixed precipitation on that day. -4, -3 on Thursday with some flurries on the way, and Friday 0 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. In Saskatoon, now we're seeing -6 tomorrow. That is slightly up from today's high of -9. -12 expected on Wednesday, but as you can see, quite a few days of cloud cover on the way throughout central Saskatchewan. Thursday, we're expecting to see some more of those flurries, -5, and Friday, 1 degree with that mix of sun and cloud. Let's take a look now at that radar and satellite. We did see some snow in the province and areas between Prince Albert and Saskatoon overnight, so make sure you are checking that highway hotline if you are heading out on those highways.
So that it could fit.
A volatile day for the markets as U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran enter their third day. Oil and safe haven assets like gold and silver, along with related stocks, are expected to rise. Defense stocks probably doing the same as well. Watch for travel and transportation companies, though, to take a hit. Canada and India have agreed to strengthen their economic partnership in a move aimed at boosting ties after 2 years of strained relationships. Speaking after the talks, Prime Minister Mark Carney said, "This is not merely the renewal of a relationship, it is the expansion of a valued partnership with new ambition, focus, and foresight." It's hoped the deal will see trade between the two countries climb to $50 billion by 2030. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
With spring ice fishing just ahead, there's about a month remaining before the season closes for most of us in southern Saskatchewan. And one of the first things many fishers need to do before the season ends is get their shack off, the permanent ones, of course. Unless you're Jason, you got a temporary out there. Jason Mallady is our fishing expert, by the way, from getfishing.ca. Thanks for being here.
For sure.
All right, let's talk about it. You got to get those shacks off the lake. When do they got to get them off by?
Well, there's this sort of line where the weather, if you will, changes over the years, and that's Highway 16. So south of that by March 16th, and north of that March 31st. And you got to get them off because you don't want them to go through the ice.
And what are the consequences? What if we do leave them out there, like these beautiful rigs out there?
Yeah, well, and essentially what happens is they're going to fall through the ice and fall to the bottom, break apart, and cause all kinds of hazards out there for boaters, with wood sticking up, nails, and different things. So it's really, really important that you make sure and get those dealt with.
Do you get a bill?
Well,
Somebody's
you can
Fish and Wildlife going to send you a bill?
What happens is conservation officers will go around and start. You're supposed to put your contact information on it. That's a legal requirement as well. So they'll go and start calling people and say, okay, you're past the deadline, and if people don't respond, it could be up to about $2,800.
You mentioned some of the problems. Yeah. What's the biggest one?
Well, as I say, the biggest one, obviously is the fines and the environmental problems and out in the water, especially when the boating season starts. But the other thing is you try to get them off early, Daryl, because when we start getting the warm temperatures, the approaches to the lake, the on-off areas, that's what deteriorates. And then if you're pulling a big, heavy shack, you can't get it off. So when conditions are good, that's the time to get them off.
All right, so let's talk fish. So you got some rods in front of us. If
Absolutely.
You've still got a couple of days left to get out there. What are we doing?
Absolutely. And we got a lot of ice fishing left. We got, pretty much a whole month. So what I like to do is run 2 rigs at this time of year. You're allowed.
What's this one?
You're allowed to run 2 rods in ice fishing. Okay. So I go with the regular jigging one. So I have one of my all-time favorites. It's pretty small. It's our jigging walleye flasher jig on there. And then I got a spoon on this one. But this one is what's called the dead stick rig. And essentially, you just let it sit there. You jig actively with that one, and a fish will come in. Often they'll hit the one that's moving, and sometimes they want one that isn't moving. So it's just sitting there with the bait, and they'll come in. They'll just watch the rod tip go down, and boom.
And this one takes off a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
You let it have some slack.
You can set it that it'll just slowly pull line out with this clocker or system on the back here. What's the
advantage to that? Just gives
well, the bait runner, if you got it on, it'll just slowly pull line out and not pull your rod down.
To a point, though. Yeah. At what point do you want it to?
Well,
you want to catch that.
As soon as you see the rod bowing, and the nice thing about the dead stick rig is, it's got a nice soft tip, and that's the key to having a dead stick rig is you want to have it just sort of do this. And see how it loads up a lot on the front end and it's solid in the back end. And it's that indicator of the colored tip, and also just it's a nice soft front end to the rod.
And this is just your traditional put it in the hole and have a couple of adult beverages and wait for it to bounce.
100%.
All right. Do you have any tips for us on your website?
Absolutely. All the spring techniques for pike, walleye, perch, and others are at getfishing.ca. And when I say spring, I mean late ice fishing techniques, because we're not quite in spring yet.
False spring.
Exactly.
Jason, thank you.
Some people battling Parkinson's disease in North Carolina are getting help by throwing some punches. Rocksteady Boxing is being offered at UNC Wellness Center, offering the sports fundamentals and physicality. Here's Haley Hollinger.
A hard-hitting sport is helping some living with Parkinson's disease.
I like the camaraderie that we get in that Rocksteady boxing. It's not just boxing the bag or boxing Alyssa. It's a group of us guys who have Parkinson's, and we're dealing with it the best we can.
Chet Harrison is just one student in the Rocksteady boxing class Tuesday at UNC Help Lenore's Minges Wellness Center.
And he says the classes really help him spar with Parkinson's.
It keeps me exercising, it keeps me moving, it keeps me stretching my joints and muscles. And
instructor Alyssa Dunn says the physical fundamentals of the sport have shown benefits in those with the disease.
So pushing your chest forward while you're punching, keeping a defensive position where your hands are here, is helping you keep those muscles intact that really, don't get the work that they need. So, yeah.
That's why she says Rocksteady Boxing was the perfect exercise class to add to the Wellness Center.
It's working on picking up your feet, correcting your incorrect posture. It works on almost everything physically that is affected by Parkinson's.
From footwork,
you ever get into any altercations with anybody in the room?
To mostly shadow boxing.
Alyssa, well, she lets me do that occasionally, yeah.
The Rocksteady boxers appreciate having the chance to get more skills to keep combating Parkinson's.
We would put our hands out and go, rock steady, fight back. And that's what we're doing. We're fighting back.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
All right, it's time for your Monday morning weather or not. Are you both ready?
I think so.
All right.
Let's go.
When was the rain gauge invented? Was it 500 BC, 10 AD, 1565, 1880, or 1910? What do you think?
Man.
Yeah.
I say that. I think 1565 is when they decided they wanted to know how much it was raining.
You're going to go that far back? I'm leaning more towards D or E. I'm going to go D. I'm going to go 1800.
All right. The correct answer is 500 BC.
Whoa.
Yeah, developed by the Greeks in 500 BC. The rain gauge is the first weather measuring device and the oldest that is still in use today. So both of you got stumped today.
Somewhere out there, my family in Bercy and Outlook, Saskatchewan is saying, you idiot.
Second, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a belated wish from over the weekend. These are some leap year birthday wishes going out to Kim. Lots of love from Mark and Jim, who say this should make you about 18 now. Congratulations. And a big happy birthday going out to Debbie. We hope you have a great day, with lots of love from Rebecca and Charlotte. And turning 85 years old is Ken. Happy birthday to you. We hope this is your best birthday yet. Lots of love from Debbie. Also celebrating today is Kyle for his 36th birthday. Warmest wishes and love coming from his wife Talia and 3 children. Happy birthday wishes also going out to David. We hope you have an awesome day. Lots of love from Juanita, Janelle, and Bryce. And here's an extra special announcement. Today is Gilda's 100th birthday. A ton of birthday love and well wishes coming your way from your family and friends. Happy birthday.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
And I know it's snow pitch weekend, and I know you guys still have a role in it, so I need your stat line and I need your wife's stat line. Who had a better weekend?
On the bats, I think I might have had just a slightly better one. She was really going for those high pitches this weekend, which set her back a little bit. But it was fun. It's the theme of our topic here today, too, of Monday morning. Why are you sore? You can text over 54321. I'll say, we planned that event, that tournament for 10 years. This was the first year actually playing in it. My gosh, you use muscles that you are not having active very often. And there's things that need to be loosened up here today. So why are you sore? You can text over 54321. And if you need some relaxation, remember it's the last week here too for the Pure Country passport. Next passport at 8 o'clock, and that could get you that trip to Jamaica.
That actually made us laugh out loud. That's really good, Chase. See you next hour.
We'll see you then.
No, just the bride. Will a new Frankenstein film help revive the box office? Christian Bale at the London premiere for the new Gothic romance The Bride, which hits theaters March 6th.
I feel like we're sort of in the death throes of theatrical release movies. It's more than having fun. It's like just exhausting yourself in the most joyful way possible because you feel like this might be the end.
It's been 10 years, but Bruno Mars is finally back. The Romantic, his first solo album of new material since 2016, is out today. The album's first single, I Just Might, has already topped the Billboard Hot 100. The Romantic World Tour launches in April in Las Vegas.
I've always believed that every child deserves a fair chance to grow up healthy, hopeful, and surrounded with love.
Dolly Parton's bringing her support to the East Tennessee Children's Hospital, which provides world-class pediatric care. As part of this collaboration, it will now be known as Dolly Parton's Children's Hospital. And singer and actor Josh Groban turns 45 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Olivia Rubin, ABC News.
Here in your Monday morning sidebar, this pup proving persistence pays off. A weird-looking dog.
I didn't know what I was looking at first.
Yeah.
Millie is
Is that a turkey?
Millie is a weird-looking dog. Sleeps on the couch, really anywhere she wants, I guess, at this point. Cool.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
It's a little unsettling, that one. Let's move on. Dora the Explorer, very famous character, but would you recognize her if somebody described her to you?
Give me my suspect.
Their head is like oval, almost like a football without the ends, like the pointy ends. So it's a female.
What about her chin? What's her chin like? I gotta know the facial structure.
Literally no chin. It's like a little
Like it's
line.
just a cutoff?
Yeah, like no visible chin.
The fact that her
This woman is taking on her husband's challenge as a police sketch artist. She is surprised by his answers, is asking all the right questions, though, and after describing Dora's hair and face, she takes a guess as to who her suspect is. I don't know, does it show us the end here?
Yeah, it was going to.
Because I believe she did very well at this. I actually saw this one online. It looked pretty close to Dora.
Roll it, Corey.
This looks like her. I did pretty good. With my boots and my map, I'm gonna find this girl. Call me Swiper, because I'm gonna get her.
There it is.
See, she did pretty good. Great communication on both fronts.
We should try this.
I think we should.
I'd be horrible.
After the show.
Terrible artist.
It sounds ridiculously hard.
Headlines to the other side of this break. Welcome to Monday, March 2nd. A U.S. fighter jet is seen plummeting out of the sky in Kuwait as more Iranian strikes are reported across the Middle East.
And our partnerships will be reinforced by the strong foundations we are building in trade and defense.
Canada and India charting a course for a new partnership by agreeing to deals worth billions of dollars.
Here's Halinka will turn fire. Score!
A bad finish to a Sunday for the Swift Current Broncos. Highlights coming up. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Monday.
What's the old saying? In like a lion, out like a lamb? Or in like a lamb, out like a lion? Where are we sitting in that hole? that whole thing?
Well, temperature's not so bad today, but getting warmer a little bit for tomorrow. Some more precipitation on the way later on in the week. So it's a little bit of everything.
Sounds a little lamb-like to me. Let's get to your headlines for this part of the hour. Got more weather in just a minute. Tension and uncertainty rising as the Iran conflict widens. This morning, Tehran has still come to a standstill. People are reacting to the death of their supreme leader in a joint operation between the U.S. and Israel. His death has now left a power vacuum, leaving Iran in uncertainty. The conflict this morning continues to spread across the region. People in Beirut this morning can be seen fleeing the city now as Israel has launched strikes in retaliation for missiles fired over the border by Hezbollah. Officials in Lebanon say at least 30 people have been killed in Beirut and in the south. Israeli military officials say all options are on the table, with Lebanon including a ground invasion. Sirens ringing out in Jerusalem as Iran launched strikes on Israel and across the Gulf region. Iran is targeting U.S. military bases and other assets in the Middle East. Smoke was seen near the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait this morning. Explosions have also been reported, and that's happening in Bahrain, Dubai, and Doha. In Regina, people were celebrating, feeling that times could be changing in their home country because of the downfall of the leader.
The governments, the guys that we hated, and we are chanting down with them, down with Khamenei, down with the Islamic Republic regime. Everything is clear now. We have a clear path forward. So yeah, people believe on this, and we are all happy that after 47 years of this barbaric regime, this brutal regime, we can have a freedom, we can have a free election.
There are approximately 1,000 people of Persian descent living in Regina, according to statistics. We're getting a better idea of government finances across the country as provinces begin laying out their budgets for the next fiscal year. Large deficits are the trend so far. Most provincial governments have yet to table the numbers, including our province. Alison Bamford reports.
Saskatchewan's premier isn't shying away from budget talks weeks before the financial blueprint is set to be unveiled.
We're in a challenging time across Canada.
In line with other provincial budgets, Premier Scott Moe says Saskatchewan will see a deficit, pointing to trade uncertainty and increased costs in public services as the main drivers. Based on mid-year updates, one economics professor suggests Saskatchewan could post $1 billion deficit.
It seems to be by and large a spending problem rather than a revenue problem. We're getting the benefit of that spending today. Somebody else in the future is going to have to pay the interest.
BC's budget delivered a record $13.3 billion deficit last month, bringing with it tax hikes and 15,000 job cuts to the public sector. Nova Scotia projected a $1.2 billion deficit that will see cuts to government jobs, grants, and operational expenses in the civil service.
This is a national problem. We've seen an absolute pivot away from the idea of we should be balancing the budget.
Experts say each province is staring down similar problems to different degrees. In Saskatchewan, canola tariffs and the drop in oil prices were big deficit drivers. But another major factor, the increased spending that comes with a growing and aging population.
The policy challenges, healthcare in particular, is just getting ever more expensive as our population ages, and there's really no good fix for that.
Premier Moe has suggested Saskatchewan won't see any tax hikes or service cuts as a result of the province's deficit. We'll learn more once the budget is unveiled March 18th. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The first day of sitting for our MLAs as well. Saskatchewan really rang those phones over the weekend, didn't they, Jeremy Dodge?
They sure did, Daryl. Yeah, Telemiracle celebrating 5 decades this weekend, raising over $10 million. Hallie Mandrick has the details.
It was a record-breaking year for Telemiracle 50. The golden anniversary raised a total of $10,521,072 for the Kinsman Foundation, marking the highest total that the telethon has ever seen.
This is wonderful.
I really think that seeing the progression all the way along the line, the people are still great, and we are still serving the community's greatest need.
This year saw an individual contribution of more than $2.3 million through a planned giving donation from Alice Tyndall, a lifelong supporter of Telemiracle who died in 2023 at the age of 91.
That's incredible.
Morel has been a volunteer for 47 of Telemiracle's 50 years. He says the impressive total is a reflection of the sense of community which runs through all of Saskatchewan.
That is a reflection of the pioneer spirit that we have, neighbors helping neighbors all the way along the line.
It's a sentiment that keeps many volunteers returning year after year.
It's super. It's amazing how people open their hearts and their wallets. This is just the greatest. It's the best thing that I ever got into.
Many are also working to ensure the next generation is finding things to love about Telemiracle.
Probably getting my jersey autographed by and the picture by the Grey Cup. To be honest, I'm just excited to go in the audience and watch.
So the Saskatchewan tradition can carry on for decades to come.
I don't think that there is a telethon anywhere that has lasted longer. I'm not sure of that. So, there's a lot of pride there.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Meanwhile, community advocates bundled up in Saskatoon over the weekend for the coldest night of the year. It's hosted by the Mustard Seed, an event raising both funds and awareness for houselessness and those who experience hardship during the colder months. Over $30,000 were raised thanks to 129 participants and 52 volunteers supporting the event. Those walking had the option to walk for either 2 or 5 kilometers in the -19 weather.
It's incredibly important for us to just get a little bit of a taste of that so that we keep it top of mind that the next time, maybe tomorrow or the next week or the month after, when we see someone who is suffering and is trying to survive in the cold, we interact with them with greater empathy and compassion and mercy.
This event was part of a Canada-wide fundraiser, which saw nearly 40,000 people take part and raising almost $15 million. Daryl, back to you.
Thank you so much. One person is dead after a house fire in Regina on Sunday. This one happened at a home on the 1300 block of Wascana Street around 5:30 in the morning. An investigation is now underway. Police tell us the person has been identified, family notified, but no further details are being released as that investigation continues. If you have any helpful information, call police or Crime Stoppers. The Saskatoon Blades and Prince Albert Raiders have punched their ticket to the WHL playoffs. Much different story for the Swift Current Broncos, who are now playing for pride.
Here's Holinka, will turn, fire, scores!
Miroslav Holinka's 35th of the season, the game winner in overtime as the Edmonton Oil Kings edged the Broncos 3-2 on Sunday. The Broncos now winless in their last 9, last place in the league. All right, we're at meteorological spring, which means hopefully a warm-up's coming sometime.
Well, we are seeing some warmer temperatures tomorrow. However, we are also talking about some stop-and-go precipitation for the next few days. Going to talk to you more about that in just a moment. We're going to start by talking about current conditions, though, in Regina. It's a bit cool to start the day. We're at -12 right now. Some winds, pretty calm this morning. Right now coming in at 11 kilometers per hour. And a few more clouds than what we were seeing just a few minutes ago. In Saskatoon, -8. We are seeing winds starting to increase just slightly. It's at 24 kilometers per hour right now. And we do have some flakes in the area. Could be seeing about 1 centimeter of snow in the area of Saskatoon into the afternoon hours here. Today's wind gusts not going to be increasing all too much compared to what we're seeing right now. They could be gusting up to about 35 kilometers per hour in areas around Saskatoon there. Still not really a lot compared to what we saw last week when we saw winds up to about 65 kilometers kilometers per hour in some places in the province. Futurecast showing how that system is going to make its way through central Saskatchewan today. So Prince Albert and Saskatoon going to be seeing some of those flurries. Some flurries also going to be spotted in the Parkland region. It's not going to be a lot, though. Again, just a few flakes there. Into tomorrow, we're still seeing some more of that precipitation. Prince Albert could be seeing some more of those flakes. That's into the evening hours as well, overnight into Thursday. So it's a bit of a stop and go kind of game that the weather systems are playing with us for the next few days. Total snowfall by the end of the day today. Only about 1 centimeter expected for Saskatoon and Yorkton. However, the Battlefords and areas around there should be expecting about 4 centimeters, and Prince Albert about 3 centimeters of snow. Today's forecast with that snow on the way, it's looking like it's going to be either right around or slightly below the seasonal average for places around central Saskatchewan. Prince Albert -9, -6 for the Battlefords, and -9 for Saskatoon. In Yorkton, -6, and a little bit warmer down towards the south. 2 degrees for Swift Current, 2 degrees for Weyburn, and 3 degrees expected for Estevan. In our 7-day forecast, we see things warm up slightly tomorrow, 6 degrees for Regina, dropping down to -4 on Wednesday, and you do see that mixed precipitation sign on there. It's more so going to be into the evening hours that we see some of that. Could be that freezing rain falling from the sky. Thursday afternoon, we'll continue on to see some of those flakes, -3. Friday, clearing up from the sleet and clearing up from the snow, but 0 degrees. 7 degrees, though, on Saturday, some rain on the way, and 4 degrees on Sunday. In Saskatoon, -6 tomorrow with that cloud cover continuing on, dropping to -12 on Wednesday, -5 on Thursday. Also expecting to be seeing some of that snow and warming up to the positive temperatures by Friday.
Of an unforgettable adventure? Indulge in the magic of Hong Kong. Enter for a chance to win a trip for 2, courtesy of the Hong Kong Tourism Board. The prize includes round-trip flights on Cathay Pacific, 4 luxurious nights at the Park Lane Hong Kong, $1,000 spending money, and a 3-day pass granting access to over 20 amazing attractions. Enter online at ctvregina.ca or ctvsaskatoon.ca. Scan the QR code on your screen, and good luck.
Time now for a look at your rural forecast. In some places in Saskatchewan, we'll be seeing between 1 to 4 centimeters of snow today. Lloydminster with those flurries, -11 this afternoon, -9 in Melfort, -8 in Hudson Bay, and some more cloud cover expected in Wynyard, -6 this afternoon. Down towards the south, we are seeing some more of that warmth. 4 degrees in East End this afternoon, Rockland 6 degrees with some more of that sunshine, Coronach 8 degrees, and Carlisle 1 degree with a mix of sun and cloud. Let's take a look at Central Butte, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel, -1 this afternoon, mainly sunny, just a few clouds, and some northeast winds, fairly calm this afternoon, only coming in up to 20 kilometers per hour.
Let's check back in with Janelle Lippi, who is having a fudge-tastic time at Fancy Pants Kitchen.
Good morning. I'm coming back to you with Karen Morley here at Fancy Pants Kitchen. We have done some of these little stencils for our chocolate, Karen. Beautifully done as well, might I say. First time's a charm, kind of.
No, you did a great job. These are a little challenging the first time you use them, even for a professional.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of practice to get good at it, but I feel like we're getting somewhere, which is great news. And we have painted one of them. Should we paint this next one?
Please do.
Okay.
So we're actually painting, and what we're using is colored cocoa butter that's been tempered.
Okay. It
so
smells delicious.
Well, it's chocolate, right? Okay. And you paint that behind the design that you've stamped. And so I get these from a guy named Made with Chocolate, and he custom made some for me, my little scuba diver. Probably can't see it, but that's what that is.
They're beautifully done.
Yeah, like I said, it's a fairly new technique, and it's a little bit challenging to master, but I think you got a second career if you want it here. Yeah, I do.
All right, well, you know where to find me.
And what we're going to do next is we're just going to fill this with chocolate, make a shell out of it, and then we'll fill it.
Let's do it. Okay. All right, we've got our painting done. Lead the way, Karen, so I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. All right, so this is the, oh, it looks so good.
So this is our chocolate.
Oh, amazing.
And you actually do this. Did you ever see Willy Wonka where they had the big fountain?
Yes.
What that does is keep the chocolate agitated, and that's what you do to temper it.
Oh, amazing.
And
look at how delicious.
Taking its temperature, we want to use it at about 32. So it's a little warm yet.
Okay. Oh, yummy. Okay, well, we'll let it cool off a little bit. We'll be back and we'll show you the chocolate going into our little plates over here. Also, shout out to camera operator Ashley, whose favorite color is red. That is the color we use to go inside of these little templates here. We'll be back with some final results coming up.
Matt Scooby inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. For it, we head to the final round of the PGA's Cognizant Classic. So Canadian Ben Silverman in the bunker on the par 4 14th. How about this? Gets it to go. Even better than a sand save. Silverman playing in his first tour event of the season gets a fist bump from his playing partner Brooks Koepka, who also happens to be in the same bunker from almost the exact same spot. Koepka does the same, chips in as well. You don't see that every day. Koepka finished tied for 9th. That's your must-see moment. Now tonight on TSN, it's a college basketball doubleheader as we get closer to March Madness. First up, top-ranked Duke takes on NC State, followed by number 2 Arizona going up against Iowa State. Coverage begins 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
Just got to tell you, this story makes my arms tired.
10? Yep. Just 10?
1, 2. Justin from Halifax just finished this year's push-up challenge for mental health. Our mayor in Regina is doing this as well. 2,000 push-ups in 23 days. Mike is a military veteran who transitioned into life after the service. He says he was drawn to the mental and physical aspects of this challenge, and the money raised will go back into the community as they are for anybody that's doing this.
Did you just hear Jeremy just go, ugh?
Yeah, I did.
Are you okay over there?
Well, no, the one shot of the guy in the gym has terrible form. His head up.
Oh,
these guys are good.
I thought you were saying after the push-ups.
No, I think if you could do like 10 push-ups 2 or 3 times a day, you could pull this off.
Oh, easily.
Right?
Yeah. But why? Let's get to our question of the day.
What?
I'm going to give mental health my money, not my push-ups. Question of the day, how did your parents choose your name?
Yeah, so a few answers that have come in so far. Of course, we want more, but let's read off the few we have. Becca's saying, I was named after Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm for my first name, and my middle name was chosen by my biological mother. I was adopted.
Okay.
Bentley saying, I was named after John Forsyth. He was in a show called Bachelor Father. His name was Bentley Gregg.
I have 3 cousins that were named after characters on Days of Our Lives.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's a lot of Kaylas out there. I know you were named after that show.
John saying, my name is John Peter. John, 3rd in a line of 4 Johns. Peter, after my uncle. So I like names that are passed down. We want to hear from you. How did your parents choose your name? Text us to 10400. Standard message rates may apply. You can also scan that QR code on your screen, and we're going to share some more answers in about an hour.
A volatile day for the markets as U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran enter their 3rd day. Oil and safe haven assets like gold and silver, along with related stocks, are expected to rise. Defense stocks probably doing the same as well. Watch for travel and transportation companies, though, to take a hit. Canada and India have agreed to strengthen their economic partnership in a move aimed at boosting ties after 2 years of strained relationships. Speaking after the talks, Prime Minister Mark Carney said, this is not merely the renewal of a relationship, it is the expansion of a valued partnership with new ambition, focus, and foresight. It's hoped the deal will see trade between the 2 countries climb to $50 billion by 2030. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
All right, time for our morning mystery. We have 3 clues lined up for you. Let's get to clue number 1. Play along at home. A specific vintage 1920s and 1930s fashion trend for seaside lounging.
Ooh.
So we're talking beachwear. Popularized by designers like Coco Chanel, they were the height of resort fashion. It's got to be some sort of hat. Featuring extremely wide-legged palazzo trousers or one-piece jumpsuits paired with bolero jackets. What is it?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I'm gonna guess this. I don't know. I'm going this way. I'm committed.
I don't know at all.
It's not. Well,
is it?
I thought it was going to be a floppy-brimmed hat of some kind. She's
well,
still
I was
writing.
thinking like robe for like.
Like for after? I went swimsuit.
I was going like swimsuit covers.
Yeah,
Swimsuit
okay.
covers?
Swimsuit, right?
Okay, let's see our answer for today's beach pajamas.
I think I could.
I think you're probably closest.
I think I can take my answer.
I think you're probably closest. I think we should bring these back.
Yeah.
JD, you'd look great in that one on the right.
You darn right I would recognize.
The Tattler. That could be also your nickname.
Oh, man.
That's today's morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're still at -12, so a cool start to the day. Definitely bundle up still. A few clouds up in the sky for both major Saskatchewan cities. Saskatoon at -8, so we have gotten a little bit colder since the last time we checked in. By lunchtime in Regina, -4, and by final bell coming up to -1. In Saskatoon, -10 by the noon hour, and by final bell, -9. Still seeing a lot of that cloud cover into the afternoon. And as we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. The common price, $136.9. You might find it for as low as $111.9 in Regina this morning. Saskatoon, the common price, $137.9, and the lowest you might find is $122.9. In the farm markets this morning, the street price of canola at $626.73 per ton, and the futures price at $674.70 per ton. Amber Durham wheat now at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat $268.47 per ton. The Canadian dollar trending down this morning. It's at 73.30 cents US. A Regina skate park is closing. When we come back, the impacts on the skating community. Stay with us.
Welcome to your Monday. Welcome to March, the first March Monday. My goodness, 7:30 on your morning. China is lifting some tariffs it had in place on some Canadian agricultural products. Alex Carpo finds out why some are looking at the move as a good starting point rather than a solution.
So, potential home out here for a bunch of yellow flowers this summer.
Curtis McRae is thinking about the upcoming farming season. His plans to grow around 2,000 acres of canola this year.
I'm holding the number very close to the same as last year, hoping for markets to rebound.
But last year was anything but easy. Punishing tariffs imposed by China on Canadian canola took a significant toll on farmers like McRae.
I'm out of pocket a bunch of money from last year. It took $1 billion out of family farms' pockets, and I don't think there's anybody thinking about replacing that.
As of Sunday, the 100% tariff on canola meal and peas and a 25% levy on lobsters and crabs won't be imposed by China any longer, a reprieve that will continue through to the end of 2026.
Initial reaction is optimistic because seeding's coming up soon, and hopefully I've made the right cropping decisions.
Prime Minister Mark Carney met earlier this year with Chinese President Xi Jinping, and the leaders inked a deal on electric vehicles and canola. Farmer Warren Ellis calls it progress, but says more needs to be done.
Better, but not the whole answer. I mean, it's better. It will allow some through, but there needs to be a lot of work done yet on that.
An economist says the suspension of some canola and seafood tariffs between Canada and China is a win-win for both parties, but says the duties could be reinstated if the relationship deteriorates again.
Diversifying our relationships, both economic and political, has advantages and disadvantages. In this case, the advantage is that we should be able to sell more canola and grain and other agricultural products. The disadvantage is we no longer can depend on a reliable American partner to protect us.
As for McRae, he says he's looking for stronger support from Ottawa to help ensure family farms can weather future trade disruptions and remain sustainable for years to come. Alex Carper, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Canada and India have announced deals worth billions of dollars this morning.
We will advance. We will not stop until the goals of Vikset Bharat 2047 and Canada Strong are reached.
The Prime Minister met with the Indian Prime Minister this morning. The two leaders then announced a series of deals, including a $2.6 billion agreement to supply uranium to India. Ottawa also says this visit led to 10 agreements worth over $5 billion. The Prime Minister said Canada and India are working toward a free trade deal that the two sides hope to sign by the end of the year. The visit seen as a reset in ties between the two countries, which came under strain of accusations of foreign interference in our country. The tax season underway, and today is the deadline for RRSP contributions. Anyone looking to reduce their taxable income by contributing to an RRSP investment has until the end of today to do so, but putting money away isn't easy for everyone right now. According to a 35th RBC Financial Independence poll, more than half of millennials report they have little to no money remaining at the end of the month after paying their bills, and 64% feel anxious about their financial future. Those who are passionate about skateboarding will have one less place to practice. In fact, it might be one of the most important locations, they say, in the city of Regina. Here's Damian Smith.
It was time, and I'll leave it at that.
After 4 years in operation, Regina skateboarders gathered at Heritage Skatepark for the final time on Saturday.
I'm very upset that we're losing the space. It's very important. You can see all the people that are here right now that are trying to get in their last skate. But I feel like the biggest loss is for the kids that started skating here. It's their comfortable space, the place that they feel welcome, and that they're able to try anything and ask questions while doing it.
As the only indoor skate park in Regina, the loss means the end of year-round skateboarding in the city for now.
But it's a source of personal expression too. It's not. It borders between art and sport. It's neither that nor the other thing. It's very interesting how a person's personality comes through with just the way that they push, the way that their body expresses themselves with their trick selection.
Once I hit high school, it was like skateboarding, and like that was it. Skateboarding's been the love of my life ever since.
There are several outdoor skateboarding locations in the city, such as Skater Skate Plaza, Rochdale Park, and Imperial Park. But until the snow melts, those passionate won't have many options to practice their ollies and kickflips.
You know, the people that love skateboarding will always have a place to skate. It just won't be when it's like 40 below outside.
As of right now, the Regina Skateboard Coalition is looking to get another indoor space by next winter. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
Some good news for coffee drinkers this morning. The cost of the cup you're drinking right now about to drop, with Brazil, the world's largest coffee producer, forecasting a record crop this year. Bad weather over the past few years has made it harder to grow coffee beans. Alison Bamford on what this means for Canadian coffee drinkers.
This Saskatoon coffee shop is trying to strike the perfect blend when it comes to the increasing costs of its main ingredient.
We have tried to absorb some of those costs ourselves versus passing them on to the consumer.
Global coffee prices have soared over the last couple of years. Recent Statistics Canada data shows the average retail price of coffee is up 30% year over year, largely driven by climate change and bad weather hurting crops in major coffee producing countries. Even with marginal increases to menu prices, coffee shops have noticed loyal customers cutting back.
Typically, our customers that would maybe come in that sort of 4 to 5 days a week have now maybe been a little bit more conscious with their efforts.
But relief may be brewing. Brazil, the world's largest coffee producer, is forecasting a record crop this upcoming season.
Over the next few months, we should start seeing some price relief in the coffee market.
Relief for consumers will most likely be felt at the grocery store, where a price jolt hit the hardest. Not so much at coffee shops that ate most of the cost.
While we may see some price adjustments in those environments, what this will largely do is allow them to recover some of their margins and perhaps improve their viability.
Café Del Rey opened 3 years ago, and the owner hopes to continue the grind.
The forecast is good for us, but the challenges are always on their way as well.
A constant balancing act for the business, managing operating costs without compromising quality. Allison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right, let's turn our attention to the weather picture. This morning view is brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. We're starting to get a more clear look as the sun comes up outside in Regina. -12 right now. Winds coming in at 11 kilometers per hour and a few more clouds up in the sky than what we saw earlier on this morning. In Saskatoon, -8. We have seen winds going up slightly, but they're still not quite as strong as what we're going to see later on in the afternoon. Right now, they're coming in at 24 kilometers per hour, and we are seeing a few flakes in the area as well. Could see a few more into the afternoon. A cold start to the day up north. As you can see, Stony Rapids -36. Our cold spot this hour is actually Uranium City, even colder than that, around -37 right now. -27 in La Ronge, -14 in Prince Albert, -9 in Melfort, and -8 to wake us up in Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, we're seeing some more of those blue colors, so not quite as bad there. -5 in East End, -11 in Weyburn, and -7 in Estevan. We are talking about some more flakes into the afternoon, as I mentioned. So it's coming through right between Prince Albert and Saskatoon into the early afternoon. This is at about 1:45 on your screen. Parkland region could also be seeing a few of those flakes as well. Right when we think that has made its way into Manitoba, we do see some more coming in from Alberta. And so it's a bit of a stop and go kind of scene here for the snow around the area in Prince Albert until the end of the day on Wednesday. By the end of the day today, though, the Battlefords can expect about 4 centimeters to be falling in that area. Saskatoon about 1 centimeter, about 1 centimeter for Yorkton as well, and about 3 centimeters expected for Prince Albert today. With that snow, we are seeing temperatures fall. -9 in the Battlefords, -12 in Prince Albert, -9 this afternoon in Saskatoon. When you're not seeing those flakes, you'll be seeing quite a bit of that cloud cover. Yorkton -6 down towards the south. We are seeing some positive temperatures, including Swift Current and Weyburn at 2 degrees, and Estevan expecting 3 degrees. All right, in our 7-day forecast, we do see a little bit of warmth on the way down south for tomorrow, 6 degrees for Regina, -4 on Wednesday, and you do see that mixed precipitation icon there. What we're actually expecting is some freezing rain to be falling into the evening hours. Your afternoon will be cloudy, -3 on Thursday, seeing some flurries starting early in the afternoon, 0 degrees on Friday, and some rain on the way on Saturday. However, we are going to be seeing a really nice temperature of 7 degrees. In Saskatoon, -6 tomorrow, -12 on Wednesday. We're going to see the cloud cover continuing on for the next few days. Some more snow on the way on Thursday, -5, and up to 1 degree on Friday with a mix of sun and cloud.
I'm Judy, your new neighbor.
Yeah? Well, we're loud.
Don't expect us to apologize for it.
ZPD's first rabbit officer, Judy Hopps.
Zootopia hopped into theaters 10 years ago this week. On the surface, it was a fun animated movie about a rabbit police officer.
This is priority 1. Hopps. Parking duty.
Sir, I'm not just some token bunny.
But under that, it took a look at systemic issues, including racial profiling, prejudice, and sexism. The movie earned more than $1 billion, and its sequel, Zootopia 2, is now the highest-grossing Hollywood animated film of all time.
They're all sloths? We are in a really big hurry.
I am on
It?
break.
I have 36 hours left. We can only...
Oh my Lord, never met no
Time to check in with some of our local politicians, including Member of Parliament for Regina Wascana, Michael Cram, who is in studio with us this morning. Michael, thank you so much for being here.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Let's start out with, it's a break week, and then you get back to work. And first priority once you get back into the Parliament Hill.
Well, I think that the events of the last couple of days in the Middle East will certainly be taking up a lot of attention, but that certainly highlights the importance of NATO and the importance of our collective security.
Yeah, and you were recently chosen to join a Canadian delegation to the NATO Parliamentary Forum in Brussels. What does that mean to you, and what does that actually entail?
Yes, well, I had the honor and privilege of visiting NATO headquarters in Belgium last month, along with representatives from all 32 NATO countries, and we had some productive discussions, and I was pleased to see the high level of commitment from all NATO countries to the alliance, because it's a very important part of our collective security.
What struck you when you walked in? Because it is
a huge building, yes. You certainly have to go through quite a few levels of security to get into NATO headquarters, but once the discussion started, I was struck by the level of commitment to meeting our 2% GDP targets for all NATO countries, and more recently, all NATO countries have committed to spending 5% of GDP on defense by 2035. So that does present some challenges and opportunities for Canada in particular.
You've spent some time in your home delegation. You're talking to members, of course, all the time. What are their biggest concerns beyond affordability, which I think is universal?
I would say the future of the country is top of mind. A lot of people are wondering if they're going to have the same Canada that they grew up in and that their parents and grandparents enjoyed. And more and more Canadians I talk with are concerned whether they'll be able to pass on a higher standard of living to their children, as has been the case for since the beginning of the country. So that's the future of the country has certainly been a concern for a lot of Canadians.
What's your view on that?
Well, I think we need to do a better job of governing the country, and we need to have fewer wasteful policies and be more mindful of the struggles that everyday Canadians are facing, whether it's increased food bank use or increased rates of child poverty, or the difficulty that people are having struggling to make ends meet.
Are we not putting enough money into the problems, or is there not enough support?
I would say we have too much government overhead that is not allowing the private sector to meet the needs of the population. We have so much potential and so many natural resources in this country, but a lot of our natural resources stay in the ground because of overregulation and higher taxes, and we need to do more to export what we have, especially in this province, around the world to lead to future prosperity.
Is that what the major projects program is trying to do by opening up the Churchill rather? And
I've noticed a lot of cheerleading and a lot of photo ops from the major projects office, but they haven't actually approved any projects yet. They've reapproved some projects that were already on the go, but I would say actually moving forward and using those tools that the government has would be beneficial in creating more prosperity in this country.
Michael, it's always great to catch up with you. Thanks for doing this.
Okay, same here, Daryl.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Borscht Pierogi and Clam Chowder Supper is on March 6th at 4:30 p.m. It's being held on the 200 block of 5th Avenue West in Kenora. The Weyburn Old Time Dance is on March 6th at 7:30 p.m. It's being held at Cecilia's Banquet Hall in Weyburn, and for more information, you can call 306-861-9929. The St. Patrick's Day Dance is on March 7th at 7:30 p.m. It's being held at Hazel Dell Recreation Center, and for more information, you can call 306-547-4284. You can submit your event to our community by visiting our website at ctvregina.ca and clicking Community Calendar.
March 2nd, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a belated wish from over the weekend. These are some leap year birthday wishes going out to Kim. Lots of love from Mark and Jim, who say this should make you about 18 now. Congratulations. And a big happy birthday going out to Debbie. We hope you have a great day, with love from Rebecca and Charlotte. Turning 85 years old is Ken. Happy birthday to you. We hope this is your best birthday yet. Lots of love from Debbie. Also celebrating today is Kyle for his 36th birthday. Warmest wishes and love coming from his wife Talia and 3 children. Happy birthday wishes also going out to David. We hope you have an amazing day. Lots of love from Juanita, Janelle, and Bryce. And here's an extra special announcement. Today is Gilda's 100th birthday. A ton of birthday love and well wishes coming your way from your family and your friends. Happy birthday.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
All right, are we giving something away, or are you bringing us down again? Like last week, you had 2 days where it was just like, hey, Chase, what's going on? Death.
We'll talk all about giveaways here this morning, okay? High Valley, we got a VIP package, meet and greets with them. Everyone's alive for that one. PeerCountry927.ca, go and enter there. We got the March to Country Thunder. So every weekday in March, we're giving a pair of Country Thunder passes, weekend passes for the entire festival, and then a chance to get those upgraded as well. Your Country Thunder Artist of the Day is going to be Cameron Whitcomb. You will hear that his song played in the 4 o'clock hour this afternoon with Brandon. That will be your cue to text in for those to win those tickets. And then 7 minutes out, we have our next keyword for the Peer Country Passport, and that could get you off to Jamaica, that Sandals Resort. We just called Emma this morning, and she was today's winner. Tomorrow could be yours. So all of the giveaways.
You know, we're going to do giveaways too. We got stuff in our desks that we can give away. I got old business cards. Keelan's got an old sweater from Brit with a cat on it. A Space Jam copy on DVD. Why not?
Wait, the Space Jam one. I will enter for that.
There you go. Knew there's always one.
I'm in. Thanks, Daryl.
This year, the show got a little bit of a facelift. Like many people in this room can understand, we nipped the SAG.
SAG, after his annual awards, had a new name but a familiar host in Kristen Bell, and familiar gratitude for winners honored by their peers.
I love being an actor. I love actors. Working with you, playing with you, and when necessary, marching alongside of you has been the greatest joy of my life.
Honoree Noah Wiley returned to the stage with the cast of The Pit to accept the award for Best TV Drama Ensemble. Seth Rogen topped that, taking the podium 3 times as the studio won Best TV Comedy Ensemble, and he accepted individual honors for himself and the late Katherine O'Hara.
She really showed that you can be a genius and be kind, and one of those things does not have to come at the expense of the other.
Harrison Ford received a Life Achievement Award.
Thank you to SAG-AFTRA for honoring me with this prize. This is very encouraging.
I wasn't expecting this, but it does really mean a lot to me from my peers.
Film honorees included Amy Madigan for Weapons.
To work with my heart in my hand and stand beside my brilliant, daring friends who show me their heart. I mean, what a way to spend a life. Thank you.
Jesse Buckley for Hamnet.
This ride has been unbelievable, so thank you for welcoming me in and making me feel seen.
And Michael B. Jordan, who retook the stage with his Sinners cast to accept Best Motion Picture Ensemble.
From the bottom of our hearts to the bottom of your hearts, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Sidebar time. We all know location is important. Location, 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 right? When it comes to real estate. So does this woman.
Users.
Okay, so she goes down a couple flights of stairs and walks right into what? A 7-Eleven store.
No.
Whoa! really close to
that's dangerous.
To a Slurpee. Yeah, I have questions as to why you'd want to live there. Don't convenience stores...
Big bites, steps away constantly.
I don't know if I'd ever feel safe. Just anybody from the public could just wander up and knock on your door.
Don't convenience stores get robbed a lot? I don't want to generalize, but...
Yeah.
Crime Stoppers reports show me that that's probably a bad idea.
I hope she's getting a good deal on that rent.
Well, she is. She's
it's $711. We don't know.
Gulps.
And a free Slurpee. Big gulps.
Kebabs. Heck yeah.
Bye. It's Monday, March 2nd. Rising tensions in Iran this morning. We have the very latest.
And our partnerships will be reinforced by the strong foundations we are building in trade and defense.
Canada and India charting a course for a new partnership.
There's a link. It will turn fire. Scores!
And WHL highlights. That all straight ahead. Stay with us. Saskatchewan, your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Monday.
We are into meteorological spring. It is a warmer week. It's starting to feel better. Like last night I was eating dinner at 6 something. It was still light outside.
Yeah, see, isn't that nice? We're getting more sunlight in the days.
Yeah.
It's starting to feel more like spring. Temperature's still a little cool today. We're still seeing some precipitation this week, but the warmer weather is on the way.
Harder to trick my 4-year-old into thinking it's nighttime past his bedtime.
Yeah.
All winter long. Oh, I don't know if we can do that. We're getting pretty
Gotta
close.
get the blackout blinds.
We got those, but it's when you look out the front window, right?
That little tiny crack ruins the illusion.
That's it. That's the whole thing. Let's get to news. We begin with this as NATO is looking at the potential fallout of the Middle East conflict. It's also launched a mission to boost security in the Arctic and high north. The Swedish armed forces have deployed 6 Gripen fighter jets to the region and invited CTV News to see them in action. Javier Boscheman reports.
Well, this is a mission marking a milestone for Sweden, and it comes at a fraught time for NATO allies. They're keeping a close eye on the Middle East, but also on patrolling the north. Now, we're here in Uppsala, not far from an Air Force base, where we will head in the morning to hop on a transport plane and head to Iceland. Our mission there is to watch the Gripens in action. The deployment marks the first time the Nordic nation leads an air policing mission since joining NATO. That was back in 2024. But Sweden's also hoping to show off how its Gripens fit into NATO operations. That's because Ottawa has been reviewing its plan to purchase a fleet of F-35s in the wake of annexation threats by the U.S. Swedish-based manufacturer Saab has been courting Canada to land a contract. A Stockholm University professor also says this mission comes at a time when Canada and Sweden are forging closer relations, in part based on their common understanding of the North.
I would say it's not only, strategic interest or mutual respect. I think that Sweden and Canada look each other in the same way. So they feel they are like, the fair players in international relations.
And so there are a lot of world events in the backdrop of this mission, just as Ottawa's decision on its fighter fleet jet is still up in the air. Geneviève Boschman, CTV News, Uppsala, Sweden.
And breaking news this morning, the Prime Minister has wrapped up his 4-day visit to India, signing deals worth billions of dollars. But as Abigail Biman tells us, new questions are being raised about the Indian government's alleged involvement in the murder of a Canadian Sikh activist.
Prime Minister Mark Carney invited India's Prime Minister to visit Canada. We're told Narendra Modi accepted, but there is no timeline for that visit. At a joint signing ceremony, India and Canada announced 5 memorandums of understanding, deals on critical minerals, energy and AI. The pair committed to finalizing a new broad trade deal by the end of the year. And Canada announced 10 commercial deals with India, including a highly anticipated $2.6 billion deal to sell uranium from Saskatchewan to India. But the Prime Minister's office cancelled Carney's first media availability of the trip, blaming Modi meetings that ran long and a flight to Australia that couldn't be pushed back. Carney has not taken any questions about potential foreign interference by India since a Canadian government official suggested Wednesday India was no longer actively carrying out those activities. The Foreign Affairs Minister, for the first time, pushed back.
The words of the senior official are not words that I personally would use. I agree with his comments relating to the guardrails that we have in place.
The Prime Minister wraps up his 4-day trip to India here in New Delhi and heads next to Australia, where the itinerary includes addressing Parliament. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, New Delhi.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre in London today, meeting with British royal and business leaders. On social media, Poilievre says it's to deepen trade and security between Britain and Canada. He says the goals are to encourage more competition, drive consumer prices down and wages up, and generate more overseas sales. He's also scheduled to attend a reception this evening for an international body promoting closer ties on trade, migration, and foreign policy between Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the UK. Later this week, Poilievre will be heading to Germany. We're getting a better idea of government finances across the country. Our politicians in this province back to work today. Provinces begin laying out their budgets for the next fiscal year. Large deficits have been the trend so far. Most provincial governments have yet to table their numbers, including ours. Alison Bamford reports.
Saskatchewan's premier isn't shying away from budget talks weeks before the financial blueprint is set to be unveiled.
We're in a challenging time across Canada.
In line with other provincial budgets, Premier Scott Moe says Saskatchewan will see a deficit, pointing to trade uncertainty and increased costs in public services as the main drivers. Based on mid-year updates, one economics professor suggests Saskatchewan could post a $1 billion deficit.
It seems to be by and large a spending problem rather than a revenue problem. We're getting the benefit of that spending today. Somebody else in the future is going to have to pay the interest.
BC's budget delivered a record $13.3 billion deficit last month, bringing with it tax hikes and 15,000 job cuts to the public sector. Nova Scotia projected a $1.2 billion deficit that will see cuts to government jobs, grants, and operational expenses in the civil service.
This is a national problem. We've seen an absolute pivot away from the idea of we should be balancing the budget.
Experts say each province is staring down similar problems to different degrees. In Saskatchewan, canola tariffs and the drop in oil prices were big deficit drivers. But another major factor, the increased spending that comes with a growing and aging population.
The policy challenges, healthcare in particular, is just getting ever more expensive as our population ages, and there's really no good fix for that.
Premier Moe has suggested Saskatchewan won't see any tax hikes or service cuts as a result of the province's deficit. We'll learn more once the budget is unveiled March 18th. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
And in Saskatoon, wasn't it, Jeremy Dodge?
Yes, it was, Daryl. We rang those phones all weekend long, and the golden anniversary of Telemiracle raised a total of $10,521,072 for the Kinsman Foundation. That marks the highest total the event has ever seen. The 20-hour-long telethon annually raises money to help pay for a variety of expenses that come along with complex medical needs for people in Saskatchewan. This year, also featuring a Telemiracle museum on site for those who attended in person, as an opportunity to see how the show has evolved in its 5 decades.
This is wonderful. I really think that seeing the progression all the way along the line, the people are still great, and we are still serving the community's greatest need.
Special note this year, an individual contribution of more than $2.3 million through a planned giving donation from Alice Tyndall, a lifelong supporter of Telemiracle who died in 2023 at the age of 91. Well, community advocates bundled up in Saskatoon over the weekend for the coldest night of the year. It's hosted by the Mustard Seed. The event raises both funds and awareness for houselessness and those who experience hardship during the colder months. Over $30,000 were raised thanks to 129 participants and 52 volunteers supporting the event. Those walking had the option to do either 2 or 5 kilometers in the -19 weather.
It's incredibly important for us to just get a little bit of a taste of that so that we keep it top of mind that the next time, maybe tomorrow or the next week or the month after, when we see someone who is suffering and is trying to survive in the cold, we interact with them with greater empathy and compassion and mercy.
The event's part of a Canada-wide fundraiser, which saw nearly 40,000 people participate and raising almost $15 million. All right, Daryl, back to you.
Lots of money raised up there, JD. Great to see. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. One person is dead after a house fire in Regina on Sunday. I get to give the bad news. It happened at a home on the 1300 block of Wascana Street at around 5:30 in the morning Sunday. An investigation now underway. The person has been identified, but their family has been notified. No further information is going to be released at this point. If you have any helpful information, call police or Crime Stoppers. Oil prices have surged as conflict in the Middle East continues. Brent crude, the global benchmark for oil prices, jumped by 10%, reaching more than $82 a barrel Monday. Natural gas prices also surged by as much as 25%. Iran has warned vessels not to pass through a crucial waterway in the south, where about 20% of the world's oil and gas is shipped. Experts are also warning that if Iran disrupts tanker traffic, it could cause the price of crude oil to push past $90 a barrel. So fill up your tanks, I guess. Tax season underway. The deadline for RRSP contributions is today. Anyone looking to reduce their taxable income by contributing to an RRSP has until the end of the day to do so. But putting money away isn't easy for everyone right now. RBC put out a financial independence poll, the 35th they've done. More than half of millennials in that report say they have little to no money left after paying all their bills. 64% feel anxious about their financial future. This WHL season has been a balancing act for a pair of young stars. The 15-year-olds are the part of the first ever Western Canadian development model, a program allowing players to appear in 34 games while still playing for their minor hockey programs. Oh yeah, and they're also students. Here's more on how it's gone and what they've learned. To say it's been a whirlwind season for Liam Pugh and Maddox Schultz may be an understatement. On an average week, it's practice with the Pats.
Process to Young. Goes back door. One-timer. Score!
Then star for the Regina Pat Canadians in U18 AAA.
He's got a chance in the slot shot. Score!
And maybe back to the Pats for a game.
Oh, there's what they talk about with Maddox Schultz.
All the while managing school and the busy lives of 15-year-olds.
It's been more fun than hard. I think, me and Liam have been doing a good job at, going back between teams and, kind of finding our rhythm.
There's been pros and cons. Obviously, it's a lot of hockey.
The blue line finds Pugh. He's got a breakaway in time. Backhander scores!
Maddox Schultz is from Regina, but Liam Pugh moved from his home in Langley, BC to play this hybrid schedule after the pair were taken first and third overall in the WHL entry draft.
I think it's just switching between two different teams, two different groups, two different structures. Like you got one structure, muscle memory in your brain, and then you go do another. So I think that's kind of been tough.
Schultz and Pugh are putting up huge numbers with the Pats C's AAA program. It's when they're in the lineup. In 21 games, Schultz has 30 goals and 60 points. Pugh, 16 goals, 48 points.
Schultz still in there with it, trying to come free, comes out in front, still with it, shot, he scores!
In the WHL, Schultz has 8 goals, 20 points in 26 games. Pugh, 6 goals, 15 points in 29 appearances.
The Patsies have done an excellent job this year at handling it. Getting them, acclimated here, has been tough at the start, just, the yo-yo effect.
We're going back and forth between teams. We're playing about 60 games, so super important to take care of yourself, and nutrition's a big part of that, and obviously, getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night.
It's the first test for this hybrid model, and it hasn't come without its challenges. When the pair play and with which team is in constant flux, and it's taken a lot of cooperation. Fair to say it's been a learning experience for the players, the teams, and the fans who have to wait each night to learn who might be in the lineup. and they'll have plenty of feedback for the league. Look at that. I still remember how to pick up a camera. What's going on, Kaylee?
Well, not a bad start to the day. In Saskatchewan, really, we are seeing colder temperatures up north this morning, of course. Everywhere else, it's a mild start to the day. We're at minus 13 right now in Regina. A few clouds to start the day. 9-kilometer-per-hour winds. In Saskatoon, we are seeing winds a little bit stronger this morning, and that is going to continue into the afternoon right around Saskatoon, where we're going to be seeing the strongest gusts. Right now, minus 10, and we have seen a few flakes in the area as well. Now, today's wind gusts, we could be seeing them up to about 35 kilometers per hour in areas around Saskatoon. We're also seeing some of those yellow patches popping up in areas later on into the afternoon around Yorkton and around Kindersley as well. Futurecast showing that we are going to be seeing some more snow in Saskatchewan today as well, Prince Albert and down through Saskatoon as well. Parkland region also going to be seeing a few of those flakes. This is at about 2:15 p.m. this afternoon. Right when we see most of that part of the system pushing off into Manitoba, we do see a little bit more coming in from Alberta there. So Prince Albert, it's going to be a bit of a stop and go game for the next few days all the way through until Thursday. This is at about Wednesday, 12:45 a.m. on your screen there. Again, still seeing some of those flakes around Prince Albert. By the end of the day today, though, we're expecting the Battlefords to see about 3 more centimeters of snow. Prince Albert about 3 more centimeters, and Saskatoon and Yorkton could be seeing about 1 centimeter of snow this afternoon. Today's forecast, we'll be seeing those air temperatures peaking at about minus 12 in the Battlefords, about minus 14 in Prince Albert, minus 7 in Yorkton, and minus 9 in Saskatoon. A bit more of that sunshine expected down towards the south. Swift Current up to 2 degrees. Moose Jaw minus 1, 2 degrees for Weyburn, 3 degrees for Estevan, and minus 1 this afternoon in Regina. We are getting warmer for our day tomorrow, 6 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud, and then we drop again on Wednesday down to about minus 4. You do see that mixed precipitation icon. What it's actually going to be is some freezing rain, more likely into the evening hours, and a lot of cloud cover in the afternoon. Minus 3 on Sunday, where we'll see those flakes returning in the afternoon, 0 degrees on Friday and up to 7 degrees on Saturday, but we will be seeing some rain. In Saskatoon, minus 6 tomorrow, minus 12 on Wednesday. We'll be seeing some significant cloud cover for the next few days and some flakes starting up once again in the area on Thursday, minus 5, up to 1 degree on Friday, and some rain on the way for Saturday, 4 degrees.
March 2nd in history, 1945, celebrated Canadian painter Emily Carr died at the age of 73. March 2nd, 1962, Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in one basketball game. Can you imagine that today? I don't know. March 2nd, 1877, the cities of Belleville and Brantford were incorporated in Ontario.
In case you missed it, after more than 3 years, Blackpink back with new music. New EP entitled Deadline, the first release since their 2022 album. More than 300 fans lined up outside the National Museum of Korea, which was set up as a listening zone. Just 5 tracks on this new EP. Girl group no stranger to drawing crowds and breaking records. Earlier this year, Blackpink became the first artist in the world to reach 100 million YouTube subscribers.
Wow.
Amazing.
I must be of a certain vintage. I went, who? I immediately was like, what?
I am not that familiar. It's K-pop, right, I think?
Yeah, it is K-pop. Some of the songs pretty good. It's not exactly my favorite genre, but they're not bad, and they kill it on the red carpets. I'll tell you that.
Oh, countdown to Met Gala is underway. Let's get to our question of the day. So it was National what?
National Fun Fact About Your Name Day.
That's what it was. So we asked you, how did your parents choose your name? How did you choose Sadie's name, your daughter?
Well, funny enough, we had it between Sadie and Eden. We got to the hospital, and my husband just said, I think she looks like a Sadie, through tears. Can we name her Sadie? I hadn't even held her yet. And I said, I don't know, let me just hold her.
I guess.
Maybe.
Sure.
I gotta hold her before we pick it.
How'd you pick your kids, Jeremy?
We just liked them mostly. Okay. I remember, though, a similar thing when Allison was born. I was like, oh, it's Allison. And Andrea was like, or Jocelyn. I said, no, it's Allison.
I like her because she came to work one day and she was like, I picked Dad's job for take your kid to work day because I get to leave earlier. Don was a big fan of baseball, apparently.
Yeah, well, baseball player his father played against because he said his mother saw the name and was spelled different than most. We had Rod saying, I'm named after my father and my son is named after me, and his son, my grandson, named after him. 4 Rods in a row.
In Rod we trust.
Yeah, how awesome is that? I love that. Margie saying I was named after both of my grandmothers, Margaret and Genevieve. Yeah, I was going to say, I need your French.
Genevieve.
Yeah, your French touch there. Kim saying I was named after my dad's friend's daughter. So it's just dads with daughters with the same name.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
That's brotherhood.
As well.
Yeah. Becca saying I was named after Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm for my first name, and my middle name was chosen by my biological mother. She was adopted.
So we went to pick our name for Mateo, and I came home and I wrote a whiteboard out 25 names on this thing, and I said only one is a joke. Whoa. But my mom famously, I asked her what names she likes. She said David, John, Joe, standards, right? Gold standards. And I was like, nothing on this board's anything close to that. So for weeks, maybe months, I said, we're going to name this baby Asbjorn, which is a traditional, hard Norwegian name, right? Because I thought no matter what we name this kid, she's going to think, oh, good God, at least it's not Asbjorn. And so we said it's Mateo, and she goes, oh.
I would have preferred Asbjorn.
Never liked it.
Oh, no. Well, thank you to everybody else who told us how their names were chosen for today's question of the day.
So far, it's not an official diagnosis, social media use disorder. Not classified as a mental condition yet, like gambling or substance use disorder. But experts say more evidence is mounting about the impact social media has on the mental health of children and teens. Here's Mandy Gaither with ways parents can help create a healthy digital balance.
It's not all bad. Social media can help children and teens create connections and be creative. But since their brains are still developing, it also comes with some risk,
including exposure to racist and sexist content, unrealistic beauty standards, disinformation, and cyberbullying.
Tamar Mendelson with the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health says parents can help create a healthy digital balance for young social media users by filling their time with in-person activities. That includes phone-free meals with family when possible, healthy bedtimes, and after-school clubs or sports.
Encouraging or requiring in-person activities can be more effective than simply banning social media because it offers concrete and hopefully enjoyable alternatives.
Next, Mendelson says to choose quality over quantity. She says because everyone is different, it's not possible to set a blanket time deemed safe to spend on social media. Instead, encourage positive online spaces that affirm their identity and expand their social circle.
This can be especially useful for young people with marginalized identities, including LGBTQ+ youth and youth with disabilities.
Finally, be aware of concerning behavior, including increasing amounts of time spent on social media sites if it's interfering with daily tasks or it's difficult to get them off these sites. Mendelson says persistent preoccupation with social media is also a problem.
Those are red flags that parents and educators should pay attention to.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Life is what you bake it, and Janelle Lippi proving just that at Fancy Pants Kitchen this morning. Let's check in with her.
All right, well, I am back down with Karen Morley. I think our chocolate is just the right temperature, so we can begin pouring it into our molds, Karen.
You're going to do it.
All righty, let's do it. Okay, lots of fun. Look at how beautiful this all is. I have rolled up my sleeves. Camera operator Ashley was very nervous for me. I feel like I'm not doing this the right way. Am I?
It's just it's a right-handed.
Oh, it's a right-handed. So I actually am left-handed, which is very shocking for some people.
There you go. You did exactly right.
Okay.
Now what do you do?
Hand. Now I give it a little pour, right?
You betcha.
Okay. So we do a little upside down.
And then you clean the mold.
With that.
That's it. And now that becomes our shell that we're going to fill.
Yay! Here is our shell. There's the back. I think I've picked up a new hobby, Karen.
I think you have. And now we have something really special for you.
Oh yes. This is amazing. Okay.
I'm going to let you unmold.
Unmold, okay.
So turn it upside down. Okay. Boom, right on the...
Let's see.
There you go.
How fun are these, Karen? Thank you so much. Everybody back at the station is going to be thrilled. These are adorable.
And they're delicious.
And they're delicious. They smell delicious. Karen, thank you so much for all of the fun this morning. If somebody's looking to get in contact with you for a wedding, any event to make
I do classes too.
Or some classes, and she's a great teacher. How can people get a hold of you?
www.fancypantskitchen.com.
All righty. Well, you saw it here first. Beautiful chocolate, smells delicious, looks delicious. You will want to come, maybe take a class, book her for an event. These are fantastic.
Dreaming of an unforgettable adventure? Indulge in the magic of Hong Kong. Enter for a chance to win a trip for two, courtesy of the Hong Kong Tourism Board. The prize includes round-trip flights on Cathay Pacific, 4 luxurious nights at the Park Lane, Hong Kong, $1,000 spending money, and a 3-day pass granting access to over 20 amazing attractions. Enter online at ctvregina.ca or ctvsaskatoon.ca. Scan the QR code on your screen, and good luck.
Just after 8:30, let's get to your headlines. President Trump in the U.S. says the assault on Iran could last weeks, but there are still many questions the administration has not answered yet. Mary Bruce reports.
Well, good morning. New emergency alerts went out to cell phones here in Doha this morning, and we've heard more loud booms over the city, likely as defenses, air defenses intercept projectiles. Meanwhile, overnight, President Trump indicated just how long these attacks on Iran could last.
Overnight, President Trump giving new insight into the military action in Iran, telling ABC News the U.S. attacks could last 4 or 5 more weeks. His statement coming just hours after the announcement that American service members were killed during an Iranian attack in Kuwait.
I want to express my deep condolences and the condolences of the Joint Force to the Department of War personnel killed and wounded in actions thus far.
Central Command releasing new video showing the U.S. destroying what appear to be Iranian fighter jets, drones, and ballistic missile launchers, among other military targets. But Iran is responding. A drone blasting this residential building in Bahrain. And in Qatar, people running for their lives. And inside Iran, the death toll is rising. President Trump over the weekend justifying the attack.
They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions.
But some question whether Iran posed an imminent threat.
I saw no intelligence that Iran was on the verge of launching any kind of preemptive strike against the United States of America.
And President Trump says the potential leaders of Iran have indicated that they want to talk. And we saw Iran's interim leadership council meeting this weekend, but President Trump did not elaborate on plans for any future U.S. negotiations. Marcus Moore, ABC News, Doha.
The spring sitting of the Legislative Assembly begins today, and the Saskatchewan NDP say they will attempt to launch an emergency debate to fight child poverty. This stems from a Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives report we talked about on this show, stating Saskatchewan experiences the highest rates of child poverty in the nation, particularly in the north. The report recommends implementing a series of initiatives to address the growing issue, including affordable childcare and school nutrition programs.
We're looking at different measures that we can do to make life more affordable, stopping the Sask Party hikes on power rates and vehicle insurance, removing the PST off kids' clothes and groceries.
In response to CTV News, the province says it will continue to implement measures that make life more affordable for everyone in Saskatchewan, including low-income families. The message of keep your spending in Canada seems to be resonating with travelers in this country. Adrian Gabriel breaks down the numbers for us.
An influx of Canadian cash as the country's domestic travel industry taking off, according to the latest Statistics Canada report.
For Q3, we've seen a very strong showing for Q3 in terms of domestic overnight trips and then spending as well.
While the amount of domestic travel remained flat for much of last year, the total dollars spent by Canadians on trips across the country shot up last summer. In July, August, and September of 2025, Canadians spent $30.5 billion while traveling in Canada, an 11% year-over-year third quarter increase, driven in part by extending overnight stays at domestic destinations across the country.
If I'm in Toronto, I'm going to go to Montreal. If I'm in Montreal, I might go to Halifax. You know, a nice little drive destination, spend a nice weekend there.
While the number of Americans visiting Canada has dipped slightly, there's been a noticeable drop-off in U.S.-bound travel. The percentage of Canadians visiting the U.S. declined by more than 34% year-over-year in the third quarter of 2025.
A lot of Canadians are looking at the U.S. They're not seeing it as a safe and secure destination. They're not seeing it as a place that's going to be welcoming.
Meanwhile, the number of overseas tourists arriving in Canada increased by more than 9% last summer. It's a trend one travel and tourism scholar believes will be reciprocated by Canadians in the very near future.
As the north-south gets a little more dodgy, especially with Mexico or Venezuela or Cuba, you're going to see people go east to Japan, Korea, and you're going to see sort of Toronto east sort of migrate more to Europe.
According to StatsCan, early data from the first quarter of this year shows that the trend of fewer Canadians flying south to the U.S. will continue. A full annual report will be released on May 29th. Adrian Gabriel, CTV News, Mississauga, Ontario.
Well, every person who's ever built a backyard rink has likely thought about it. Can I make a homemade ice surface cleaner, a Zamboni, if you will? Well, a Regina resident has come up with his own creation, and Jacob Carr took a look at it.
Perfect.
Craig Weatherspoon describes himself as an outdoor rink enthusiast. He wanted a more efficient way to build and maintain an outdoor rink that he maintains by his home near Wascana Creek. That sparked the idea for this mini Zamboni.
I went over to the El Richie, actually, and studied with the fellow that does the Zamboni over there, and he showed the basics behind it. So that's where we ended up with what we have back here in the picture.
It just so happens that the Regina Downtown Business Improvement District was looking for a way to resurface its skating rink in Victoria Park. Their director knew just who to call.
He was my grade 8 teacher in the 80s, we'll say, and he really has, I always say he's the reason I am who I am today. He really did a lot of work both in North Central and throughout the community.
So the former student and teacher had some discussions about Weatherspoon's creation. Gibbons asking him how much would it cost for him to build one the bid could use for the downtown rink. But Weatherspoon decided that there would be no price at all.
Quite honestly, I'm dealing with somebody that I've taught. She's doing things that I like to see be seen done within the city. I mean, when the fact that these skates and this ice surface is there for anyone that wants to skate on it.
Gibbons says she is thankful for people like Weatherspoon who are looking to make the city of Regina a more vibrant place for its citizens, so much so that Regina Downtown Bid made Weatherspoon a sponsor for the Victoria Park rink.
We're talking about how great the Zamboni is, how That's huge when you guys just did that path.
A former pupil and educator teaming up to get things done in the Queen City. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
This space is fit for a queen.
This space initially was only going to be so that we could light what is behind this wall, which is the corridor. We needed a set of windows that we could push light through. The classic Greek and Roman.
Architectural Digest went behind the scenes of Bridgerton Season 4. Fans got a tour of Queen Charlotte's palace set, which is the royal backdrop to Benedict and Sophie's love story. The palace doors took 7 weeks to hand carve. And fans are getting a courtside view of this show. Kate Hudson is returning for Season 2 of Running Point. We're getting a first look at the new season and some photos shared on social media. The LA Waves return to the court on April 23rd. Pretty good show. Bruno Mars is willing to risk it all.
Crazy, but it's true. There's nothing I won't do. I'd risk it all for you.
See what I did there? He shared this new music video off his latest album, The Romantic. The song Risk It All is the lead track. This is his first solo album in 10 years. 24K Magic was released in 2016, if you can believe it. Wow. Where does the time go, Keely?
I don't know.
Question.
2016, 10 years ago. A whole decade.
Wow. Okay.
That's kind of crazy. All right, let's ponder how old we've all gotten for a moment. But in the Weather Center this morning, not so bad. The morning view is brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. In Regina, we're at minus 13, so slightly down from where we were at just a couple hours ago. We are going to be warming up slightly this afternoon. Tomorrow is going to be warmer, though. We'll stay tuned for that. Winds in Regina coming in at 9 kilometers per hour right now, and we do have some clouds to start the day. A few more clouds up in Saskatoon, though. We're at minus 11, and we have been seeing a few flakes falling from the sky this morning. We're going to be seeing a little bit more later on. Let's talk about those winds, though. We are going to be seeing them go up slightly, gusting up to about 35 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon. Later on into the afternoon, we're going to be seeing them go up as well in areas around Yorkton and in areas between North Battleford and Kindersley. Current temperatures now, we're seeing minus 37 in Stony Rapids, so a very cold start to the day, and that's not even our cold spot. The cold spot is Uranium City, so if you are waking up with us from up north, definitely bundle up. Minus 27 in La Ronge, minus 14 in Nipawin, minus 17 in Spiritwood to start the day. Down towards the south, we're seeing some more of those blue colors, so some positives. Minus 5 in East End, minus 5 in Swift Current, minus 11 in Moose Jaw, minus 8 in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, we'll be seeing temperatures above the seasonal average down south, 2 degrees for Swift Current, 2 degrees for Weyburn, and 3 degrees for Estevan. Not quite as warm. Prince Albert, minus 14 with those flakes, minus 12 in the Battlefords, minus 9 in Saskatoon, and minus 7 in Yorkton. Now, how much snow today? Well, right now, by the end of the day, we're going to be seeing about 4 centimeters around the Battlefords, about 2 centimeters in areas surrounding Prince Albert there, about 1 centimeter for Saskatoon, and about 1 centimeter for Yorkton as well. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast in Regina. Up to 6 degrees tomorrow, so it's going to be a nice day. Mix of sun and cloud, and then some more precipitation on the way on Wednesday. It's likely to be falling starting in the evening hours. Your afternoon will just be cloudy as we reach minus 4. Minus 3 on Thursday, some more flakes on the way starting in the early afternoon. 0 degrees on Friday, and up to 7 on Saturday with some more rain on the way. In Saskatoon, we're taking a look at those icons there to indicate clouds for the next few days. Minus 6 tomorrow, minus 12 on Wednesday, minus 5 on Thursday. Again, some flakes expected in the area there. 1 degree on Friday, some more rain on the way on Saturday, up to 4 degrees, and 1 degree on Sunday with a mix of sun and cloud. Hard to believe, but spring break is coming up fast, and there are some important money decisions to consider. Travel and personal finance expert Barry Choi is here with us to share some smart ways to save on your next trip. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to be here.
So what are your top tips for people who haven't booked quite yet?
Flexibility is key. You know, spring break followed by the winter travels, and summer is typically the most expensive times of the year to travel. If you can travel off season or maybe a couple weeks later, it'll probably save you a little bit of money. Also, I always advise people to check multiple destinations, cities, countries. This way you can kind of see what your budget's at and which one offers you a better value.
All right, for people who are unaware, can you explain those foreign transaction fees and how we can avoid them?
That's a great question. Most Canadian credit cards charge a foreign transaction fee of up to 3%. This is on top of other fees that you may not even know that you're paying for, right? So what's really interesting is that you can avoid these fees if you're using the right thing. I personally prefer Wise. It's one of the simple, smart ways to move money around the world, right? You can send money to more than 160 countries. In addition, if you have the Wise card, you can spend and hold in 40 different currencies. It's one of the easiest ways to spend or get access to money when you're traveling abroad. Wise always uses the mid-market exchange rate with low and transparent fees, so you always know what you're paying with no hidden costs.
Well, Barry, what about cash? Do we get this before we leave or after we arrive?
You know what, you should always travel with a little bit of cash just in case you come across a vendor or a place that doesn't accept credit or debit cards. You don't want to be able, you want to make sure you're able to pay. But here's the trick. I was just talking about the Wise card. Well, it acts like a debit card. You can withdraw funds from foreign ATMs with low transparent fees. This gives you a simple and predictable way to access cash when you're traveling, right? In addition, if you want to learn more about the Wise account, go to wise.com to order your free Wise card. And what's great about this is that it keeps your costs down and gives you that predictable way to access funds like I was saying.
All right, what other costs should travelers be mindful of this spring break and beyond?
I don't know if you've ever heard of dynamic currency conversion, but it's something that comes up for a lot of travelers. That's where if you're at an ATM or a merchant and you get to choose between paying Canadian dollars or the local currency. Always choose the local currency because it's cheaper. And what I mean by that is this: if you choose the Canadian dollars, even though it might seem familiar that since you can pay Canadian dollars, the merchant or ATM operator can actually increase the exchange rate, which obviously costs you more. Another thing I quickly want to mention is roaming data charges. It can be expensive whenever you travel. Make sure you're pre-purchasing a data plan or picking up a local SIM or an eSIM before you travel.
All right, 30 seconds left. Let's talk about travel insurance. How important is that to get?
You know, for me, it's one of those things that I just budget for it whenever I travel. I want to make sure I have that peace of mind. You know, for me, travel medical insurance is essential. We know that the cost of medical attention overseas can be expensive, so having that insurance covers you. And additionally, if you have extended travel insurance like trip cancellation, flight delay, lost baggage, it can just give you a little bit of extra peace of mind to cover you in case anything happens.
Awesome tips for anybody planning to travel this spring break. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
A young Ottawa entrepreneur has found herself mired in a legal battle with the one-time pop band The Spice Girls. CTV's Judy Trin shows us why. If the businesswoman wants a future for her product, looks like she'll have to forget her past.
Lily Bond is making taco spice from a homemade recipe that she started selling in local farmers markets as a 13-year-old girl.
My mom was often with me when I was younger, and because she was helping me out, so it was like, oh, there's the Spice Girls.
The name stuck in 2017. Then a year later, her spice made it onto grocery shelves in Ottawa.
I loved creating something of my own, and seeing that on the shelves, it was the most rewarding and incredible experience of my life.
To differentiate herself, Bond changed the spelling, replacing an I with a Y and using a Z. She applied for a trademark in 2022, and a year later, it was approved by the Canadian Intellectual Property Office. She rented space in a commercial kitchen and expanded her flavors, selling them in more stores. Then in 2024, she got a letter from a law firm representing ginger, sporty, baby, posh, and scary. It wasn't what she really wanted. Bond was accused of trademark infringement. Lawyers said that consumers could mistakenly believe that her goods were somehow associated with the real Spice Girls.
It was a little scary. It was pretty overwhelming. I was really just trying to focus on, making the spices.
With not enough money to hire a lawyer to fight a potential lawsuit, Bond is giving up, an experience that has left her disillusioned with the super girl band.
I think that they have a band that is, or a brand essentially, that was built around female empowerment. And that's why part of me believes that maybe they don't know, because if they really are promoting or continuing to promote what they had built their brand on, I don't think they themselves would want to take me down for it.
Bond will now have to change the name of her company, just as a national grocery chain has expressed interest in carrying her spices, in part because of the branding. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Frankenstein. No, just the bride.
Will a new Frankenstein film help revive the box office? Christian Bale at the London premiere for the new Gothic romance The Bride, which hits theaters March 6th.
I feel like we're sort of in the death throes of theatrical release movies. It's more than having fun. It's like just exhausting yourself in the most joyful way possible because you feel like this might be the end.
It's been 10 years, but Bruno Mars is finally back. The Romantic, his first solo album of new material since 2016, is out today. The album's first single, I Just Might, has already topped the Billboard Hot 100. The Romantic World Tour launches in April in Las Vegas.
I've always believed that every child deserves a fair chance to grow up healthy, hopeful, and surrounded with love.
Dolly Parton's bringing her support to the East Tennessee Children's Hospital, which provides world-class pediatric care. As part of this collaboration, it will now be known as Dolly Parton's Children's Hospital. And singer and actor Josh Groban turns 45 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Olivia Rubin, ABC News.
A fourth grade class in the Sunshine State, showing what can happen when everyone just gives a little bit of their love to someone in need.
And it's a life lesson that can be learned at any age. Here's ABC's Danny New.
An act of kindness at Florida's DeBerry Elementary School has won over the hearts of millions online, but it was only intended for one student.
Do you feel very close to the rest of your class?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Last Friday, Sophia here found her desk and chair covered in dozens of sticky notes, each one containing a handwritten compliment from a fellow student in Mrs. Miller's fourth grade class.
Makes she's laughing. I'm laughing and crying. I'm happy.
You can hear Sophia say she's both laughing and crying before running off to hug the student who came up with this heartwarming idea, Ashton.
And what'd you say to him?
I couldn't really exactly speak at that time.
Here's why. The day before, Sophia was just having one of those days, and she went up and told Mrs. Miller she didn't feel very smart.
I've never really had a student come up to me and say that they don't feel smart, and so it just broke my heart.
So Mrs. Miller turned to Ashton after school and said, hey, what do you think we should do to make Sophia feel better?
Me and Miss Miller decided that we were going to put sticky notes all over her desk with compliments on them to make her feel appreciated.
The next day, Sophia left the classroom for a little bit, and when she returned, she found notes with messages like, you're a star, you're smart, you slay, and you're crazy awesome. But this did not just have a profound impact on Sophia. Look at all of those smiling faces behind her.
It feels good and it feels like I made a difference.
And what will become of all these little big notes of encouragement?
What are you going to do with these sticky notes?
I'm going to keep them forever.
And I mentioned this has inspired a lot of people online, and Mrs. Miller told me that a couple in Texas even reached out to say they want to buy the whole class a pizza party with soda. Well deserved. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Kayleen's left me a few sticky notes over the years. They don't say you rule.
You tattletale.
Oh, goodness. Let's get over to our sidebar for this Monday. Hey, just thinking about this story makes my arms a little tired.
10? Yeah. Just 10?
1, 2. Mike and Justin from Halifax just finished this year's push-up challenge for mental health. They did about 2,000 push-ups, 23 days. Mike is a military veteran who is transitioning to his new life after the service. Says he's drawn to the mental and physical aspects of the challenge while raising money and giving back to the community.
Did you hear him say just 10? Like, oh, what? Like it's hard? I can't do one.
I was thinking the poor fella on the right is probably watching this back on the news and saying, they got my spot. They got...
I still have my goal to be able to do one push-up.
You did one the other day, sort of.
You can do one.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video, Jeremy?
It's a struggle.
Maybe we should show.
These tables will support.
Cut the cameras.
All right. Well, we all know location is important when it comes to real estate, but this is a little bit weird. So this is in Vietnam, I believe. Saigon. Yeah, Saigon goes downstairs from her apartment and right into a 7-Eleven store, because why not?
This would be my nightmare.
Yeah. I don't need that convenience.
Yeah, I don't need the snacks below me all the time.
Sometimes convenience is just too convenient. Enjoy your Monday. We'll see you back here first thing tomorrow.